Want a soar? Get a mentor. Hey, it's Nina Carmichael. And the chances are you are the most ambitious person in your circle. But you know you're capable of more. And you get a push by surrounding yourself with the best. So today, let's learn from one of the best by husband Evan Carmichael. Mentor me, Evan. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Keep learning.
I'm going to teach you a mindset hack that if you can learn to apply will help you eliminate your self-doubt, your fears, your insecurities, and step forward confidently into whatever situation you get yourself into. And it's this: you teach yourself that you can learn anything. You can learn anything. You may not have the answers right now. You may not know how to do the crazy thing that you want to do. You've got big goals, big dreams, big ambitions. You want to do something big. That's why you're watching this channel, right? You're part of Believe Nation. You want to do something big with your life. I love it. You don't know how to do it. You teach yourself, I can learn anything. Because what we often struggle with is you want to do something, you know you can't do it yet, and then you associate with that, I suck. I can't do something, so I suck. And that attack on your self-worth, on your self-confidence, on your self-esteem prevents you from actually going off and creating something amazing, right? I think you're a genius. I think you have Michael Jordan level talent at something. I believe that. I don't just say it in videos. I believe that that's true. So whatever you're stuck on, instead of making yourself feel like you suck, that you're not good enough, that you're not capable of it, understand that it's just a skill set that's missing. The difference between where you're at right now and where you want to be is the skills that you acquire and then the action that you're taking. You're willing to take action. The problem is you probably don't have the skills yet to be where you want to be. That's okay. You tell yourself, I can learn anything. Learning becomes your superpower. I had a guy on my Instagram Live not that long ago, and he was talking about becoming a digital marketer. And he was asking me, what place do I sign up for a degree for digital marketing, and is it worth getting a degree for digital marketing, because I want to be a digital marketer. I want to sell my digital marketing services to entrepreneurs. There are some fields where having a degree is really important. Digital marketing is not one of them. Going to, I don't even know if you can get that in university, but going to take somebody's digital marketing certification is not going to be helpful for you in terms of getting new clients. You might learn some new skills that you can use to get new clients, but he was putting too much stock in the paper. His belief was in the paper that because he was going to get this certification that says that he was a digital marketer, that would help him get more clients. Now, if you're going to get a law degree or an accounting degree or something official, professionals, then great. Yes, you can't become a lawyer without going to law school, right? But digital marketing, if they're teaching it out of school, it's already outdated. Digital marketing is changing on the fly. Look at what I'm doing on my YouTube channel. If I was to teach a course at a YouTube conference a year ago, it would be different. That's why in my YouTube Growth Bootcamp, I update it constantly with the new things that I'm learning because it changed from 1 year ago. Textbooks are written like 2, 3, 4, sometimes 5, 6 longer years ago. So apply to digital marketing, it's already out of date. But the problem with the guy who called in on my IG Live was his faith, his trust was in the paper. That having the paper, having the degree would help him get credibility and close clients. His trust, your faith needs to be in yourself. It needs to be in you and your ability to learn. Not in your abilities that you have right now, because you don't have the abilities yet to do the thing that you want to do. You're not capable yet. If you were capable, you would have done it. You're not ready yet. That's okay. But you're able to learn. You can learn anything. So whenever you're in fear and insecurity, in doubt, you're not sure what to do, don't take it personally. Don't say, I suck as a human because I don't have this skill set. You can learn anything. Remind yourself of it. And then you need to create a customized program for you. You need to create your own university, your own learning program, so that every day you're slowly acquiring that skill, that knowledge set that you're missing. It's why I created the 254 series, where every day for 254 days you get a new video on a topic. that if you want more confidence, if you want more self-love, you want more motivation, you want to be a writer, we've got lots of different topics. There's hopefully something there for you. But even though I may not have made it yet, right? I made a whole bunch and they're free for you. But if I didn't make it, you go make your own. My YouTube channel is my own. That every day I want more belief in my life. And so I created the channels for that. And hopefully that spreads and you guys like it. You're getting more belief with every video too. But you need to create your own program. Every day, whatever the skill set is that you want to learn, that is the only gap between where you are and where you want to be. Because you're willing to take action, you just don't have the skill sets yet. But you're willing to learn and you're able to learn anything. You can learn anything. That needs to be on loop in your head. I can learn anything. I don't know how to do it yet, but I can learn anything. And then apply it. So every day, what are you going to be learning? Every day, what video are you going to watch? What book are you going to read? What podcast are you going to listen to? How are you going to learn? Who are you going to reach out to? Who's done the thing that you want to do? And how can you learn from them and apply it? Every day. There's never been more information out there. There's never been more thought leaders, experts, people who've succeeded sharing their tips, their advice, their knowledge, their feedback. And you can start for free. Before you go and hire somebody as a coach, or you drop thousands of dollars on somebody's mastermind, consume their content for free. YouTube videos are free. Podcasts are free. Buy their book. It's gonna cost $20, $25, right? Invest small. Make sure you're getting knowledge that helps. Make sure you're getting knowledge that when you apply it works. And then you can start spending more. But you need to see a return on investment for every dollar you put in, for all the mentors that you pick, your time and the money that you're putting in. You're a genius. I'm a little frustrated because I love you and I want to see you win. And I see so many talented people in Believe Nation with great ideas, great ambition, and great heart. Great heart. Like, you want to do great things for the right reasons and serve the world. You just haven't learned the skills yet. And so you remind yourself, I can learn anything. Whatever problem in front of me right now, I don't have the skill sets yet, then I can learn anything. Also, if you want to have more self-belief and more self-confidence, I have designed a free training program just for you, where every day for the next 254 days, I'll send you an email with an unlisted video to help you boost your confidence. The science says it can take up to 254 days of consecutive action to build a habit. And so I want you to build the habit of self-belief and self-confidence. It's 100% free. The link to join is in the description below. Find whatever the smallest first step is, and then the smallest next step is, and continue to build those steps. And when you look back, you'll have realized that you made some pretty significant progress.
You can use rejection as fuel to help you go off and do something bigger and motivation to, I'm going to prove them wrong.
It's got to be your life's work. If you only had to write one book ever in your life, this is it, and it's got to be amazing.
Rule number 2, don't tie your self-worth to winning.
You're afraid of experimenting because you tie your self-worth to winning instead of trying. If you base your self-worth off how much you win, then you're only going to try things that you have a good chance of winning at. Thus, you play small for life. But instead, if you base your self-worth on trying, on the effort that you're putting in, you will fail on most days, but you'll end up accomplishing more than you ever thought was possible. So every time I go to a YouTube event, I'm always being praised by my thumbnails. People always say, Evan's got the best thumbnails, go look at his thumbnails, model his thumbnails, use them as an example for the best practice. And I internally am always saying our thumbnails suck. We need to get better. Sure, we might be among the best, but we need to get better. We could be way better than we are right now. Why have we become the best? Because I'm experimenting constantly. Most of my tests do not work. I use a tool called TubeBuddy. Shout out TubeBuddy, huge fan. We've done over 1,100 split tests on our thumbnails, where we run one thumbnail against another and one against another and one against another, trying to beat our best. And most of the experiments don't work. They just don't work. I recently ran an experiment of, on my main channel, putting my face on the thumbnail with the YouTube white border against Tony Robbins. And it tanked. It was like 80% worse than our current thumbnail. And that's okay. People don't like my face next to Tony Robbins. That is okay. I'm fine with it. I expect to lose. I expect everything I do not to work. But I'm willing to test it to see. I just recently came up with one thumbnail design where I made the background purple instead of black. Purple instead of black. And it actually did better. It did significantly better. And so now I'm testing it out on 5 more thumbnails to see, does the purple one do better than the black one? If that works out, maybe I roll it out across the entire channel. But it's very rare that I find the win. Out of the 1,100 experiments that we've done, most of them will not work, will never work. Even from the beginning, I'm thinking this is probably not gonna work, but I'm willing to test. That's okay. Even if the most likely outcome is failure, it's worth the test to see.
And rule number 3, the last one before our very special bonus clip, grow and improve.
Self-improvement is the answer to whatever obstacle is staring you in the face right now. The only difference between you and greatness is the willingness to grow and improve. It's not talent, it's not smarts, it's the willingness to improve yourself. The difference between you and Tony Robbins is he has spent more time constantly improving himself than most people on the planet. Here's a guy who had multiple fathers growing up, had an abusive mother who at 17 he had to run away from home so he could become a janitor and never go to college. He then decided to be a success. He read 700 books in 7 years. He studied under mentors like Jim Rohn, and today he's the founder or owner of companies with over $6 billion in annual revenue. If Tony Robbins can go from being an abused janitor with no college education to being one of the most influential people in the world, why can't you? The difference is he made the investment to constantly improve himself, and you haven't yet at that level. So I look at my channel as an example, my YouTube channel, and I've learned so much over the past number of years in confidence, in growth, in abilities, in skills, by consuming the content, because I love the top 10 series and the Mentor Me series and the Espresso series. I make them for me, and then I share them with you, and thankfully you guys like them too, and I can build a business off of it and keep pumping out more content. But it helps me. I've grown, I've learned. And one of the biggest moments that helped me realize how much I've learned is when I signed a 3-year deal with Sage. I was working with Stephen Kelly, who is the CEO, and every month we'd be on a call. We'd be doing a hangout on my YouTube channel, answering questions from people. And I was driving with my dad, and I remember him asking me, how do you get the confidence to be on a call with Stephen Kelly and be seen as his equal all the time? And he wasn't asking me to put me down. He was asking me in genuine awe of, he was so happy for me that I was playing a bigger game. And it dawned on me that he was right. The Evan of 5 years ago wouldn't have been able to do that. The Evan of 5 years ago would have felt less than. The Evan of 5 years ago would have said, there's no way I'm capable of doing that. And then when I'd signed the deal, I felt like, it's great. I love Stephen, he's amazing, but I feel like I'm hanging out with Oprah and Kanye and Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and these super successful people, and they're infiltrating my brain on a daily basis, right? A daily basis. 3 videos every single day on this channel. And so bit by bit, it pulls me up. Now I've recognized I still have a long way to go. I still have so much more to learn. I still need to believe in myself even more. And every time I consume more content, it allows me to grow my comfort zone a little bit more. And the funny thing is, all of these moments are little tiny incremental parts of your growth. I couldn't point you to one point in my past where I said, that was the moment that I changed. That was the moment that I had more confidence. But as I studied every day, I could look back 3 months, 6 months, a year and say, wow, I've really changed. I've really grown. I've really learned a lot. But in the daily, from today to yesterday, I'd say I didn't grow at all. And so sometimes on your journeys, you're trying to learn and get better. You may feel like the growth is really slow on a daily basis, but if you keep going, you keep investing, you keep learning, you keep seeking out mentors, you keep trying to get better and improve. Not every day will be amazing, but if you try every day to get better and learn, I can guarantee you that in 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, when you look back of the person you've become compared to what you are right now, there'll be a big change. And that's because you continue to invest in yourself. Now I've got a special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy, but before that, it's time for the question of the day. I wanna know, what was your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week? When you watch something and get motivated and just get inspired, you have a 35% chance of actually following through. But when you get motivated and then you actually create an action plan for what you're gonna do, you increase it from 35% to 91% chance of you actually following through. And when you share your plan publicly, publicly, that jumps to 95% chance of following through. So I want that for you. I want to know your single biggest takeaway from this video and your plan of action for the next week. Put it down in the comments below so I can celebrate you.
As time has gone on, I've become less and less a fan of goal setting. And I love the idea of quarterly goals over annual goals, over decade-long goals, because the timeline is shorter. And why I'm less a fan of goal setting is because the more you're actually growing, the less likely you're actually able to predict where you're going to be. So I really hate 10-year goals, 5-year goals, 10-year goals. If you think about where you were 5 years ago, think about who you were 5 years ago. 5 years ago, look at the calendar. 5 years ago from today, in the past, who are you? You think that person could predict where you would be 10 years ago? 10 years ago, I just started my YouTube channel. I had a couple videos up. 10 years ago, I said I'd never want to write a book. 10 years ago, I wouldn't imagine that I'd be here. I'd be here and making videos for a YouTube channel with 300 million views in Puerto Rico because Brendan Burchard invited me to his mastermind group to speak on stage in front of all these successful entrepreneurs. I wouldn't have predicted that, like with zero accuracy. And same thing for you. 10 years ago, you had no idea that you'd be here. Not if you're growing. And this is the big caveat. Not if you're growing. Like, if you can predict with accuracy where you're going to be in 10 years, you can hit it, but it's just way small compared to what you could have done, and it means that you haven't grown in the past decade. And so that's my main beef against goals. And having shorter goals, having numeric goals can be great. Can be great. Like, I want to get 10 million subscribers on my main YouTube channel. That's a good goal. But if I set that as my 10-year goal and that's the only thing I'm going to do, then it's wrong, because probably in 3 years I should jump off and go do something else, right? I've been fortunate that I've been doing YouTube for 10 years and I still love it. It's still amazing. But chances are your 10-year plans, you should jump off in year 2 and go do something else, because that thing is actually better for you because you've grown as a person. So at least it's great, the advice that instead of annual goals, set it down to quarterly goals, because goals are still helpful. They're still good to kind of track your progress, to know that this video did better than that video, that this customer brought in more money than this customer, that are you doing enough actions to go and get the business that you want. Those are great. But as a macro thing that's leading your decisions, I think the longer you stretch it out, the worse it actually is.
If you want to know what separates people from win to those who lose, check out the video next to me. I think you're gonna enjoy. I will see you there. Continue to believe.
But you're afraid of judgment, you don't know where to start, you're afraid of it being not perfect and people telling you that you suck and you failing publicly. You're afraid of all that stuff, and so you don't do anything.